Wish you all a very good day and blessings for achieving peace, happiness, success. Let us start this beautiful day with a prayer for universal happiness. Please join me. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashchit dukha bhavet. This prayer sums up what I plan to share with you today, my life's experience, how to find happiness and health, to actualize this prayer for yourself. If you are wondering as to why am I talking about personal happiness and health in a universal prayer, the simple answer is that remember, in a flight, the instructions are, please wear your oxygen mask first before helping others to wear it. Happy and positive people make others happy by their mere presence. Happiness is contagious. It spreads very fast. Let us have a huge round of applause. I am afraid it is not thundering. You just had your tea, please. This round of applause is for yourself. The wonderful person that God created, a person who is unique, special, with immense inner strength, with mind-blowing power of the mind and strength to scale any heights and achieve any goals that they choose. What you need are 3 Ds, and I will let them remain a mystery for the next few minutes. Before I proceed further, please bear up with me because I am not tech savvy. If I fumble, please help me. Today I stand here in your midst as a concerned family elder to share my life's journey with you, my failures, my success, and lessons learned from trial and error and mistakes. When I was younger, my happiness was always dependent on something. I thought I'll be happy when everything falls into place. But I realized this never happens. We keep postponing happiness, chasing a distant mirage of future perfection, and forget the power of the present moment. Happiness, I realize, is in the mind. It is something you create or rather discover in the midst of the toughest situation. That has been my personal experience. While there are several ways to do it, my path was to strive to lead a yogic way of life. How did I reach there? Let me take you through a brief journey. I started out as a normal traditional middle class South Indian girl being groomed for marriage. Though I was fair, slim and educated, my focus on my short height convinced me that I was unattractive, plus labeled as a good for nothing blockhead, resulted in my stammering and lack of confidence and unhappiness were constant companions. Marriage happened when I was 21 to an Air Force officer, intelligent, handsome, loving and caring. Life was bliss for a short time, and then at age 22, I lost my first baby and lost my husband at age 24 when I was 8 months pregnant with my second child. I went into depression, contemplated suicide, refused jobs offered to me, and created huge misery and unhappiness for myself and my parents. The baby was born, but the depression continued. And then God intervened in the form of the Secretary of the Air Force Welfare Association, a defense widow herself. I do not like to call, defense widows, I call them Veer Naris. She came to see me to get some official papers signed. She took one look at me and instead of sympathizing, gave the worst scolding of my life. She said, "Are you the wife of a braveheart defense personnel or a coward? You should be ashamed of yourself. If you loved your husband, You should be standing up now, nurturing the legacy left behind and fulfilling the dreams he had for his baby girl. She helped me get a job with the Air Force. This became my motivation and launched me on the path of taking charge, taking control through the Yogic way of life. A lot of you must be thinking, rightly so, what is new about Yogic way of life? Don't I know them? You are right. Indians have known the Yogic way of life for centuries, but in the recent past, we have forgotten its power to transform us. Let me remind you, the magic is imbibing, inculcating in your routine, day to day, minute to minute. Please, a quick run, Yogic way of life. Now coming to the 3Ds, any guesses? Anywhere? Because the time is short. I had only these 3s to start my life from scratch. Determination, dedication, discipline. To this day, I follow it minute to minute. A quick run. I start my day with gratitude. This should be food for thought, real food for thought. We lose out on many friends, many family because of this. We have immense capacity. अंदर झांक के कभी देखते हैं? To the fullest, we don't. You can search the Google, you can get any number of such role models. This is also one area. Do we give space to the other, accepting the difference? You are what you think yourself to be. शेर समझो शेर ही है, चूहा समझो तो चूहा ही है. Extra baggage, this is very, very important for stress. Please, when you are under any stress, please search a soulmate and release your tensions from talking to your heart. But that person should be able to keep your confidentiality. No better person than standing up for your self-respect and rights. This is all free. I start my day contemplating on all this and try to imbibe at least a few of them. Stage or the ways of life. Just when I thought that life would be calm and quiet, I met Mr. Sanjay Kaul, the founder president of University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, who asked me, will you join our university as Nani? My first reaction was, what will a Nani do in a university? This was in 2012. At my age, do you know I'm 73? He smiled and said, having grown up as part of a large extended family, I know the comfort of running to an elder when faced with a crisis. No questions, no jargon, no lecture, no do's and don'ts, just a warm, comforting presence, enveloping with care and concern. I want my students to enjoy this warmth and want you to be their comfort. Will you join us? His explanation floored me. And before I knew, I had said yes to this new opportunity in life, or should I say, a new challenge. Mr. Sanjay Kaul's basic idea was to revive the concept of family counseling, which was part of the Indian culture but fell by the roadside as joint families were replaced by nuclear families. He wanted someone who was rooted in tradition but understood contemporary issues of the younger generation, courtesy my grandchildren, be it peer pressure, parental pressure, relationship issues or addictions. He wanted Nani to give the students a non-judgmental environment to share their concerns. Nobody accepted expected this concept to work. A 73-year-old trying to understand 20-year-old was impossible. The journey was very difficult. Reaching out to youngsters was a Herculean task, but I kept on chasing and it worked. Students were soon sharing with me personal stories, their deepest fears and pain, breakups, poor marks, low self-esteem, different sexual orientation, the trauma of being physically battered, abused in growing up years came pouring out. My heart went out to these young people, and as I listened, they healed. I realized that a lot of them were shy to come, so I started reaching out by just walking around the college and talking to anyone who looked lonely or sad. They would often walk back with me to my cabin and share their sorrow, also my home-cooked lunch. On one of my walks, I met a young man, Dhruv Kapoor, a budding engineer who christened me Campus Nani. He, along with his group, students, but also the faculty, staff and parents. Inadvertently, I had become the bridge between the young students, which is very much essential. Young students and the parents and faculty, bringing them together to understand each other's point of view. The university then undertook another experiment of using Campus Nani to help the underperformers. I don't like to call them failures. No one is a failure. Along with a team of well-meaning teachers and students, we identified the problem areas, most of them emotional, found solutions which were a mix of counseling and extra classes. The first pilot was a thundering success with all the underperformers passing the papers they had not cleared. However, I received much more from young people than I gave to them. Energy, enthusiasm, a spirit of adventure from them made me run a marathon and also jump off from a cliff, paragliding in Himachal Pradesh. My 4 years in UPES are full of happy memories of the interaction with all the young people who came to me and the tremendous support offered to me by all. However, I must make special mention of the Chancellor, Dr. Chopra, and the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Srihari, whose love, support, and above all, a total belief in me, in my concept, kept me motivated. I can say with a lot of conviction that the young people of today have immense capacity. They respect traditions and uphold all values that we hold dear as Indian and world citizen. They will do us proud, and nobody should have any doubts on this. Can we have a big hand for the young people? Thank you. After my stint in UPES, I have undertaken several journeys which are very, very close to my heart. Of these, of the closest of my heart is my association with DESH, an organization that reaches out to the defense, braveheart, martyrs family all over India. The message is, the nation remains forever grateful to you and your supreme sacrifice. Recently, I traveled to Jammu, Udhampur, Palampur, the remote areas, met many of the braveheart families, and I expect that each one of us, countrymen, should do this to make them feel They are not alone. The nation has not forgotten the sacrifices. Bonding with them, connecting with them helps them to cope over their irreparable loss. Why the next is not coming? I would like to use this platform to call out to all senior citizens, do not retire from life. Come back now. These young people need you, they will respect you, give you unconditional love, making you feel again. Now nearing 80, I don't feel my age. Many people ask me, the first question they ask me, what is the secret of your energy and enthusiasm? I said I get my battery charged on a daily basis by connecting and bonding with young India. Today also in my morning walk, I chased a young student, BTech, third year, Amit. So initially he was forced to walk with me, and for 1 hour he walked with me with a lot of love and affection, and I ended up counseling him. So today has been my homework. They will do you proud and will take India to undream of heights of glory. Once again, I would like to say again with the courage of my conviction that quality of life is in your hands. हम लोग बोलते हैं किस्मत किस्मत. I don't believe in that. Only 5% is destiny. I lost my husband. On that I didn't have any control. That was my destiny. 95% was in my hands. What I should do about it? Either moan, groan, live on the charity doled out by families, or take charge, take control. And today that little baby girl is 53, is a senior bureaucrat and into national causes. Then you see, ये क्यों नहीं दिखा रहा है? Please check it out, because the last one is quite important. I've still got 1 minute. So this is not my fault, because being a retired Fauji, I am very, very particular. My daughter told me, आप तो ना बूढ़े हो गए हो 80, तो आप 2-3 मिनट ले लोगे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, कोई कुछ नहीं बोलेगा, लेकिन मुझे फर्क पड़ता है. I am very particular, a stickler to time. Now it's not my fault. Okay. हाँ. Okay. And these are some of the families, brave hearts with whom I connected, bonded. Most of them Paramveer, Mahavir, Ashok Chakras. So take charge, take control. Jai Hind.